I'll be there when you're down, when you're losing your crown, till the afterglow, the afterglow.
Fading away, you look so great when you gotta shine. One more part of you is gone now, as you keep smiling at the crowd.
Pressure is your best enemy, spotlights show what I wanna see. Sometimes it feels like you're under attack, you just can't break free. I'll be there when you're down, when you're losing your crown, till the afterglow, the afterglow. I'll be there when you fall, when you're losing it all, in the afterglow, in the afterglow. Whoa!
Salt Lake City, the spot is the spot for SmackDown tonight, but the spot for the Smackdown Security Detail is right here online. I'm your host, Chris Best, here, taking you through the next 2 hours. OMD and Parrish will be along here with their run-ins as per usual. We're looking at everything that took place last week with the brawl between Roman Reigns' bloodline and Solo's bloodline, and how the numbers game basically caught up to Roman's bloodline, and now they're trying, of course, to recruit a fifth member. And of course, on Monday we saw them try to recruit one Seth Rollins, while Solo was successful in recruiting Bronson Reed. And of course, as we're looking on here, we're just seeing just the amount of carnage Solo's alliance, Solo's bloodline and their alliance with Bronson Reed has caused. I mean, Roman tried everything he could to stop the five men, but it just was not enough. Now, of course, after all this beatdown had happened later on that night, Roman did try to make a phone call. He tried to make a call to the wise man, but the number was disconnected. And now we're live inside the arena here. Yep, Solo's bloodline making their way to the ring. And one has to wonder what he's got on his mind tonight. All right, let's see what he has to say. So Solo Sikoa is saying that he wants Roman to show up and accept some terms of surrender. If anything, Roman's not going to be accepting anything about that. Roman's not in the building yet, as was also mentioned by Solo in this promo. The question I have is, where is Roman tonight, and when will he show up? Carl, buddy, thank you for that like. Let's take a look at the matches we have scheduled for tonight. We're going to see a face-to-face between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. This is probably going to lead to maybe where their match is going to be scheduled, their possible match. Smackdown, where also tonight we're going to see Bayley and Naomi in women's tag team action as they take on Candice LeRae and Tiffany Stratton. In U.S. title action tonight, L.A. Knight will be defending his championship against Santos Escobar. This should be a decent match. We also got some more action starting right now with the Women's United States title. Bianca Belair making her way to the ring as she takes on my personal pick to win this event, Chelsea Green and Blair Davenport. This is, of course, first round Women's United States Championship action. This is going to be a great match, actually, between these three. Right now, we're taking a look at a promotion for the Elimination Chamber going to Toronto, and scan the QR code to register for the pre-sale. All right, we're back to the show here. We just went to commercial break there. Or maybe we're not, because it's straight. I got a straight up black screen with the sports net in the bottom right corner of my TV screen. Oh, there we go. WWE shop. And a look at their championships, of course.
Good evening, Mr. Best.
Good evening, Mr. OMD. You didn't miss anything except for a promo.
Okay.
All it was
Good.
the bloodline came out. It's and I'm talking Solo's bloodline. I mean,
Okay.
they said Roman's not in the building yet, and Solo said something about Roman coming to accept his terms of surrender because they can't find a fifth member.
Interesting. So I do have it on now. So I do have Blair Davenport making her way into the ring.
Yeah, Bianca's already in the ring. We're just waiting on Chelsea Green to make her appearance. And no, I'm not going to do it the way Samantha Irvin used to do it.
No, we don't need to do that.
I do wish that title was different, though, for the women.
I can understand that because you do want something a little bit different from the men's other than the white strap.
Mm-hmm. It's also how I feel about the UFC titles too. I would like it for every weight division for their belts to look different.
Right. And again, I can absolutely understand that.
And here's my pick to take the tournament.
Yep.
I just think the reason why I'm picking Chelsea Green is because I just think, imagine like the way she parades around in the locker room right now without a championship. Imagine how she's going to be parading around with a championship.
It would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I do have I have Michin actually winning the thing overall, but I think that I'd like to see the Naomi heel turn if she loses. Or even the heel turn if she does win it, and you know, when the fans are chanting "You deserve it," and she'll be like, "Damn right I do. I've busted my ass for how long, and for what?"
I've got to say that opening was they did some spots there that I haven't seen in a while in triple threat matches, and that was the
Right?
constant quick pins.
Yes, the chain wrestling for pins, and I like it. I like it.
Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens are still set to go face to face. That has obviously not yet happened.
No, that's either going to start the 9 o'clock hour or that's going to be your main event segment.
Well, I think it's going to start the 9 o'clock hour because of, again, what Solo had said about Roman, and Roman is on his way to the building.
I would not be surprised if we do get our potential Seth Rollins answer tonight if Seth is there.
I kind of thought of a scenario today with the whole Seth Rollins thing. So supposedly Cody and KO is not going to take place at Survivor Series. So I'm going with that scenario if that doesn't happen with this. Okay. Right. I thought of do you remember SummerSlam 2010? The build up to the WWE superstars versus the Nexus. I say John Cena and company. I'm not going to list all of them. But do you remember when they were trying to get the Miz to join and the Miz kept holding off on them?
Yep.
Up until like that moment. And then John Cena's like, look, we found your replacement.
Yeah. No, Miz was petitioning to join them.
Yeah.
Not holding out. And then they're like, no, we may need him.
No, he was holding out because
Miz was petitioning.
No, he wasn't. He was holding out, dude. He was holding out and being like, I'm not sure. And then even like that night when they tried to convince him, he's like, I'm not sure, because Edge and Jericho, who are like friends with the Miz at the time, joined up, and he still wasn't sure. And then by the time Miz came out, he's like, okay, I've made my decision. I'm going to join. John Cena then turned and said, look, we already found your replacement. And that's when Daniel Bryan came out.
Right.
Here's a scenario I kind of thought about for that. Because right now it feels kind of like Seth Rollins is a little bit holding out, even though they all have the same issues at hand with the bloodline. So imagine, like, we'll say next Friday this happens. Imagine Seth comes out and he's like, I've made my decision. I'm going to join the team. But then, like, Roman Reigns is like, I'm sorry, dude, but we've made our pick. And then Cody's theme hits.
Right.
I think that could be something there. If they don't do what I think they're going to do with Cody and KO later tonight, and I think they're going to put them in a title match at Survivor Series.
Right. See, and I have been hearing that match actually for Saturday night's main event.
But still, both matches can happen. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. But from what I'm hearing is they are also looking at holding Cody right off of Survivor Series.
Yeah, that's, again, I painted that scenario based on if them not putting Cody on Survivor Series happens, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm not buying into all the Heyman hype and it's going to be CM Punk or it's going to be Brock. I think we're going to potentially see Heyman tonight.
Yeah, I also played the scenario based off the cards that we do have right now versus the cards we don't have, you know?
Right.
It's funny. So, like, there's no other sports on tonight, so I switched it over to another one of my favorite shows, which How I Met Your Mother is on the Comedy Channel right now. And it's the same episode I watched earlier on Disney Plus.
Oh dear.
Because when I'm eating dinner, I like to have something to watch, and usually around dinner time, there's nothing of interest for me that's on. Maybe if I'm eating at 7:00, there's maybe a hockey game I'd watch or something.
Right.
But not today. So I decided, okay, Disney Plus, watch some How I Met Your Mother while I eat my dinner, you know?
Right.
And sure enough, got the same episode that's airing on the Comedy Channel right now.
Why is Survivor Series listed at 2:30 next week?
Because that's probably when the doors open in Vancouver.
Well, let's hope. I mean, because that would be a 5:30 unless there's a UFC event that night as well or that weekend.
No, because that would make sense, because if they're going to have the show airing at 7 p.m. here or 8 p.m. whatever time it is.
Right. That's 4:00, 5:00 there.
Yeah. Plus that 2:30 doors opening time slot, that's like the perfect amount of time for you to go in, get your go to your get your merch, get your snacks, find your seat.
Yeah.
Also hit up the bathroom before the show too.
Yep.
Because if you're like me, when I go to a pay-per-view live, I do all of that before I go to my seat. That way I don't have to get up.
Yeah, no, the problem is like when I did WrestleMania X8, I did it dry. Like I didn't have water, anything like that on the floor, and I had the pyro right there behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a mistake.
Yeah.
I did get up because WrestleMania 23 because there was a little bit of there was a 10 to 15 minute break between the one match and then the next match, which happened at the time to be the U.S. title, which was Chris Benoit versus MVP.
Yeah.
And I got up to go to the bathroom. I was fine. That was when I tried to go and buy my title.
Yeah.
And wound up having to do the varsity jacket.
Which, you know what? That's still a cool thing to have.
Once the music hits, you have to wait. See, I couldn't even get back to my seat for the match. I had to watch from the top of the stairs.
Did you have to watch the whole match, or?
Yep.
That's can you imagine doing that for the Royal Rumble?
Oh. No, you know what? I think they were doing, can't remember which entrance it was, but I think once that entrance was done, I was able to get to my seat before the next one.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I've seen people like in the crowd at Royal Rumbles getting up and, going to the snack counter or something like that, which,
yeah.
Why would you do that during a Royal Rumble match?
Right. You don't.
I kind of figured this was going to be a factor in this match.
Okay, well, I'm not quite there yet, so. Ooh.
I take it by that, you got there.
I'm there.
Yeah, so Jade Cargill's been laid out across the table. I mean,
across the car. And Bobby Roode in the place of Nick Aldis. And was that Piper Niven that I saw above Jade at first?
I don't know, because all I saw was Jade laying on the thing. I'm going to have to rewind. I'm hoping they go to commercial break after this match so I can rewind and see who was there. But I get a feeling that's something to do with the women's war games.
Well, you called this one. But on the plus side, I didn't have to deal with a Bianca win.
Right, and it made sense in this case because Bianca's got her situation with the war games, so it doesn't make much it doesn't make a lot of sense for her to win right now. And right now, her and Jade are trying to boost the women's tag division.
Right, but
so I'm gonna
keep in mind that if you look, and this is the reason why I suggested did Piper have something to do with it, is because Piper and Jade are in next week's triple threat.
And that's where I'm rewinding to see it. Because, again, all I saw was, like, the pan down to Jade on the car.
Right.
That was Piper running to the car. Or somebody else running to the car. I couldn't tell who it was, but I rewound it some further so I can get a better look at it.
Okay, because I saw a jacket.
Yeah, I saw the jacket too.
Like Piper's. So
it looked like Piper too, but like I said, she ran to the car, so it's not like she was standing over it or anything like that.
Right.
But I get a feeling that with Bianca now having run out of the match, I get a feeling we're getting a backstage segment probably coming out of the break showing that. But I get a feeling it has something to do with war games.
Right.
And speaking of next weekend, oh geez. So next weekend, as you know, is Black Friday.
Yes.
I got a glimpse of the PS4, the PlayStation Black Friday sales.
Right.
My money's in trouble. There's games there that I've been wanting for my PS4.
You want to know the sad thing is I like through my points and that with Game Pass, I was able to earn enough for a $25 gift card on my Microsoft account.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't find anything to spend it on, and they only give you 90 days to spend it.
Oh. See, right now, and I'm gonna spoil everybody here because I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I've already got the next Saturday night gaming series planned. It's going to be the Red Dead games.
Okay.
Red Dead Redemption 1, I don't have on my PS4. I do have it on the PS3, but I saw it on the PS4 for like $30 today, and I'm like, I need to buy it.
I was almost deceived by Parrish's screen because I looked down and saw, of course, the crowd. So I thought Parrish decided to take a massive panoramic view for himself. How are we doing, my friend Parrish? He's muted.
Yeah, I was talking to my cat. But I'm glad that you decided to use the term massive when you were talking about me. You were absolutely correct, but I am doing well. Thank you. How are you doing?
I am doing very well. I had a very, very successful day today, so I'm not going to argue.
Did you? No, I'm not even going to go there. But I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
How's everybody else doing?
I'm doing good. Had myself just a lazy, quiet day at the house.
Nice. I always seem to come in during the commercial, don't I?
You do.
It's like perfect timing for you.
Hey, somebody has to. Oh, running.
Yeah, Jade was attacked during the Triple Threat Women's title match, U.S. title match, or tournament match, I should say.
Oh, is this setting up Bianca's heel turn, or is this going to be something to do with Bayley?
See, I don't know. Because when they were showing Bianca or Jade laying on top of the car, there was a shot of Piper Niven running towards where the incident had happened. At least we think it's Piper Niven.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to go one step further, though. Do we not think, because we have seen WWE reenact angles in the past.
Right.
Could this not be a who attacked Jay Cargill, very similar to who attacks Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Right.
That's what I'm leaning towards. But right now we've got U.S. title action.
Well, right now we have fans going, ah!
I fully expect for you to cheer like that if you do end up going to the Rumble.
I am going to the Rumble. It's not. Yeah. I am.
There's no ifs about it.
The tickets have been purchased. Going to the Rumble. I'm going to Chris Van Vliet. I should probably tell my wife that I'm going to the Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just tell her the day before.
I mean, she knew that was a possibility. And then flights are going to be booked this weekend, so it's going to be nice. That comment has been there since yesterday.
Thanks for the upload.
Well, Michael is very welcome for the upload.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be thank you for the download, trust me.
For a very brief moment, because of what Elektra Lopez is wearing, I thought it was Natty coming to the ring.
I can see it.
I was going to say, we're in Saudi Arabia or what?
Right?
We're in Saudi Arabia, and apparently Berto and Garza have decided to run through the wardrobe of Eddie Edwards and the American Wolves.
Right?
And then I gotta say though, even though like it's basically a poncho, Santos has the nicest ponchos I've ever seen in my life.
Agreed.
Right?
Do we see Nakamura making his presence felt in this match again?
Probably.
Yeah, I was going to say again, but probably after the fact.
Or yeah.
Or
How about now? Everybody's muted because they need to watch the channel. I'm going to create some the promo entertainment by talking to everyone.
I'm not muted.
You really know how to wreck things, don't you? Fine.
I just realized there's really no need to mute yourself when it's a Nakamura promo. You can read the subtitles.
yes,
he does speak though.
True.
Oh, I'm surprised Bubba Duke is not in here tonight.
I was going to say, why would he be? He's not part of the show.
No, but he did reach out and ask me earlier if it would be okay if he and his little girl popped in to watch the show and do the show with us.
Burn. Shots fired. You are not part of the show. Goodbye. Oh, it's so nice to come here, and you guys know that I'm being sarcastic and joking, unlike other places.
Right?
Nah, I'm going to leave it that vague. Skip the dishes.
Right?
This is a great time to let everybody know if you're watching, please make sure that you like, subscribe, and follow to the platform you are currently viewing it on, because it does help the channel. And if you're on the YouTube, please make sure you hit that thumbs up and hit that notification bell button to alert yourself every time Turnbuckle Studios pops up and is live for your viewing pleasure. And if you can, spread the word, share. Because we'd like to just be available for everyone, because helping each other out, that's the way to go.
And sharing is caring.
Wrong room. I clearly was going to put the more you know thing going. And I'm not too sure if signs will be brought to the show. They very well could be, because if you want to know where we're sitting, we're going to be to the left side of the entrance.
Okay. Are you on the floor or upper?
God, no. I'm not spending that money. I think floor spots are like $5,000 US, man.
Yeah.
We had to leave some beer money, all right?
Right, of course. But James Storm won't even be there teaming with Bobby Roode.
We don't know. Anything can happen at the Rumble.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, 2 years ago at Rumble, we didn't know if Nia Jax was going to be there, and then boom, she was.
Right.
Piper Niven returned. So did Chelsea Green.
You missed her match, by the way.
I saw it on the way home. So I got to do homework, all right? I only miss what happened before that.
Well, I got in, and apparently I didn't miss anything, so...
Yeah, all you missed was a quick little promo from Solo's Bloodline.
And I just want to let people know I'm still batting 1,000 on my bracket. In the words of the man who is the other U.S. champion. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you said you saw Chelsea taking this win too, eh?
Mm-hmm. Had her in the finals, bro.
So do I. I have her winning the whole thing.
I don't, but...
I'm really enjoying this match right now. We're getting between L.A. Knight and Santos right now.
Right? But
Me
I was
too.
going to say, I don't think I've ever seen Santos have really a bad match. Same with LA.
I've seen Santos have matches where, you know, it just... the rhythm wasn't there. But,
Right.
like, from, like, just... does he do anything that looks out of shape? No. Like, but I think Santos is one of those guys who is so underappreciated for what he does inside the ring that, and because if he's off your screen for a bit or they're not doing much with backstage segments, it's easy to forget about him. It's
Right.
actually very similar to Chad Gable.
Yep.
Right?
And then you add the whole, he's Latino, he's not American born, so English wasn't his first language. That's also something that's going to create a little bit of
Right.
maybe patience for the, you know, North American viewers to, you know, really watch. Because that's something you just don't see from L.A. Knight. Oh. Right, as Night Riders.
Oh, I like that transition.
Nice.
Not gonna lie, I would have had Shinsuke do that during the pin and not have the win.
Yeah. Would have made more sense for it to end in a DQ, to be honest with you. I wonder if we get these two maybe at Saturday night's main event, or do we push this to maybe the Rumble?
I think we're going to see it at Saturday night's main event, culminating at the Rumble.
What? That's way too long to push it to the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're going another 2 months.
Yeah.
2.5 months. Because you still got all of December, all of January. I think you definitely do something at Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if they even push something to Survivor Series just because they're gonna probably add another match, maybe another 2.
Right. And that we're sort of anticipating potentially finding out tonight if they're going to add another match or 2.
Because I believe Cody and Kevin are main eventing Saturday night's main event, or else that was a rumored plan.
That's the rumored plan right now.
So if that's actually something that we see that happens, then why not add that to Survivor Series? Sammy's had some awesome shirts lately when he's in the bloodline, whether it's the honorary Uso or the Sammy Uso that we now see.
Mm-hmm.
Just one of a kind.
Yeah.
I felt WWE should 100% have made a face-off type poster with Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
1000%. I'd be all about that.
I mean, I made one back in the day for a local wrestling company. You look pretty badass, if you don't mind me saying. Actually, if I can find it, I'll send it to you guys.
Okay.
Oh, I do have it.
Nice.
You will have it in your Facebook messages. Upcoming. Oh, I heard a little. Somebody got it.
Yeah, that was me.
And tell me it's not awesome.
There it is.
It is, but I'm wondering what the hell's going on with Martin's hair in that picture.
Well, he's an ugly man, so it's okay.
Yeah.
And no, I didn't like trace from the poster. I legitimately made that from scratch with the poster as inspiration.
Nice.
Yeah. Easily my best. One of my best
Yeah.
pieces of work. So OMD best. What did you guys think about when Daniel Jones got released?
I really wasn't surprised.
I find it really funny because
What's
they're
even
still
good-
paying him a lot of money to not
What's
play for
even
the team.
What's even going to be less surprising is when Miami signs him to be their backup.
I asked a guy earlier, I'm like, because he's a Cowboys guy, and I'm like, something tells me I could see your team signing him.
Yeah.
No, to be honest, it didn't shock me in the least either. So, but I'll tell you what did surprise me today was the Blue Jays deciding to let go of Jordan Romano.
No, they probably couldn't get to a deal.
One of their best closers. That's, you know,
And yet, when it came to a deal, they couldn't close.
yeah.
Right?
The irony.
Now, granted, he did miss about half the season because or elbow surgery this year. I just don't think he was the guy that you should have cut.
I mean, it is what it is. Maybe they have another guy in place, though.
Yeah, they've got to be making a play for somebody else. That's where I'm leaning towards with that.
Actually, no. Daniel Jones will go to Jacksonville to be Trevor Lawrence's backup.
Is this the first time Cody Rhodes is actually donning the workout jacket? Because he doesn't do that very often.
This is the first time I'm seeing him in that outfit.
Right?
The only other guy I've seen wear an outfit similar to that is his buddy, his pal, QT Marshall.
I feel Chad Gable wears stuff like that once in a while, and I do definitely feel matching tracksuits are a thing American made should have.
Yep.
And if he wants to steal the Valera ones, like Kurt Angle and Team Angle, I'd be all for it. It's true. It's damn true.
Agreed.
Now go drink your milk.
I would if I actually had some. Speaking of which, I actually tried 0% milk. Not bad.
No?
I mean, I do the lactose-free Fairlife stuff because, well, one, you get more protein and whatnot, and just tastes cleaner, to be quite honest. And yes, I make sure that's what my son drinks. Make sure he's in the protein and the added. Just doing my job.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I mean, I don't really taste much of a difference. So 0%, solid. I just want to say hello to everybody watching on my Twitter and my Instagram. If you're happen to seeing quietness, there's a promo on SmackDown that we are watching and we're doing a watch along with. So we're trying to pay attention. So don't be bored. Although I can understand how you find that boring. We'll be back after the promo. That is the promo of the year. We finally got an explanation out of Kevin Owens. We finally got a response out of Cody Rhodes. And even Cody Rhodes sounded corporate when he tried to make sense of it. But also Cody Rhodes showed as much passion as you can alongside Kevin Owens, who has now stated he loves Randy Orton, but hates Cody Rhodes. So it goes to show that even though Kevin Owens hated what he had to do to Cody Rhodes, in his mind, he hated even more what he had to do to Randy Orton. But he's going to love what he does to Cody Rhodes whenever they fight.
Yeah.
Absolute fire. Very on point with everything. I'm with you. Promo of the year. I loved it.
Just both men, man, just spitting truths as far as, I mean, their truths as far as how they feel about each other, you know?
Mm-hmm. If people in my Twitter have anything to comment about that, if you did see it, let me know now so it can be broadcast on our stream. But what's next for this? That is the main question. We all know that they're going to have a match. They're going to have a fight sometime. But really, what's next? Because the stakes emotionally have really been raised.
Yeah.
And this is the magic of what a really good promo can actually do to the wanting of a match. Now, the emotional intrigue on this next fight, match, whatever you want to call it, is there. It could main event. Before it had possible doubts. Now it's for sure.
So another fire promo with the bloodline.
Right? And you said it earlier, Cody Rhodes, potentially.
Yeah, I created a scenario, but I don't know if that's going to pan out, you know?
I don't know if it's Cody Rhodes simply based on the fact that I think they wanted to, pun intended, acknowledge the fact that that's what people are thinking. And they wanted to almost, in their way, kill it before it's even anything.
Yeah, because immediately Roman said, I've moved on, so.
Yep.
Well, which was funny because that's something I picked up on. He said he moved on. I wanted to see if anybody else was going to call him out on that. Specifically Jay, and I wanted to know, is anybody going to say, you may have moved on, but what about all of us?
Yeah.
He's all of our friends. Same thing happened with Seth Rollins when his name was brought up. Just a look, but no answer.
Yep.
There was no answer. He didn't say no. He didn't say yes. He just gave Sammy a look.
Yeah.
I still believe we're going to somehow see Seth Rollins here, but I definitely think it all comes down to Roman. And I do think at some point somebody has to step up to Roman to get that yes. And I think that's internally, and I'm pointing my finger at Jey Uso.
See, and I did pose the question because we don't know if Seth is actually in Salt Lake City tonight. So I'm wondering if we do maybe get that answer in the main event segment when we see the OG bloodline versus the new bloodline.
I mean, that's tough to say because we could. What I'm curious about is, are we going to just see Seth Rollins, or just like WrestleMania 40, do we see Shield Rollins?
Right.
But at the same time, I think it matters to be said. What if Paul Heyman comes back at Survivor Series with Brock Lesnar?
Right. See, I'm not buying into the Brock Lesnar or CM Punk with Paul Heyman to team with Roman.
I think CM Punk is a farther fetched, although there are a lot of speculation that CM Punk is going to be at Survivor Series.
Right.
I mean, it marks the 1 year of his return.
Right.
But I think Brock does make sense in the sense that they're out of options. Roman kind of doesn't want to accept the Rollins thing, even though he hasn't said really no to it. But we also know that Brock and Roman have mutual respect through the wars they've had. And we know that even Sammy and Brock has had positive memories. Time. So I don't think it's necessarily far-fetched. Plus, if you think Solo's team has a big advantage, well, I think it's definitely advantage OG bloodline if Brock Lesnar comes back. However, I will also say this, as I was thinking, how pissed off would Seth Rollins be if CM Punk took the spot instead?
Right.
And what a great way to bring that feud back.
Right. And I mean, we do know, and I'm going to go way back to the day. There was all that rumor that CM Punk was going to be revealed as the fourth member of the Shield, even with his history with Seth.
Well, he wasn't rumored to be the fourth member of a Shield. The whole idea of the Shield was to be CM Punk's henchman. That was the proposed idea. And we all know from interviews that, especially the one with Colt Cabana and CM Punk before they got mad at each other, that CM Punk wanted Chris Hero instead of Roman Reigns. The company wanted Roman Reigns. I think the company, long-term wise, made the correct decision. But yeah, it was one of those things where you could tie all that back around CM Punk, which is so ironic, but so insane too, because we're talking, 2013 Survivor Series?
Right.
Yep.
Now, the other question, and I'm only going to pose this just because I just saw him on the screen. Do we see potentially Dwayne tonight, or do you hold off on that as the surprise fifth guy at Survivor Series?
I think why even announce anybody before? Why not make tuning into Survivor Series that much more of a we have to do it? Damn rights, I love what I just saw there.
Right.
That's exactly what I wanted to see when they put the strap on Cody Rhodes. I wanted to see Cody do what he does very well, and that's elevate new talent into the picture. That's exactly what I wanted to see.
Yep.
And I'm damn happy that's the thing now because, man, Carmelo Hayes is somebody that needs that match.
Yep.
Especially now.
And I mean, Cody was Melo's first match when he got called up to the main roster.
Mm-hmm.
And now we need to, and I'm thankful that they're taking the shift and taking it away from Melo and Andrade. And maybe this is something that can push Melo to that next level.
Well, just think about what we could see, and that is Melo versus Cody Rhodes and possibly a non-title match, and Kevin Owens costing Cody Rhodes that match, and now Carmelo Hayes could potentially have a win over Cody Rhodes, the champion.
Yep.
And it's all thanks to Kevin Owens. And that's when Kevin Owens can say, this is when I want my match. I think that's beautiful. Because I think Kevin Owens potentially having maybe a faction, and he's the leader of said faction, could be really good. Especially if you're contemplating the idea of turning DIY heel. There you go.
Yep.
There's your 4.
All I gotta say about that little backstage promo is at least Vinci got screen time.
Right.
I'm at the point now, if they're not doing anything with Vinci, what was the real reason to kick him out of Imperium? Like,
Right.
I think somebody has to say it.
Yep. I don't know. It still doesn't make sense to me that he gets kicked out of Imperium and then he doesn't get like some sort of like match against Kaiser, you know?
Right.
I mean,
There you go. Complete random surprise. Turn Vinci face and throw him in as the 5th man.
I'm just saying, have maybe Kaiser and Vinci start the Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be all right with that. Bayley showing a little bit of innovation, and I like it.
All right. One moment, please, boys.
What? One more dump. One more dump. One more dump. That's not what OMD stands for, technically. But it is a secondary meaning. Thought that was funny.
Yeah,
Get it?
it was.
The number 2 meaning? Yeah, come on.
'Twas a thing of beauty.
It wasn't the first or the second. It was the turd. I thought that was funnier.
Yeah.
I guess too. I should maybe hit go live on my Instagram. Eh? Whoops. If I'm gonna just do it, I might as well do it correctly. I just don't like how I have to do so many. But it's such a third world problem,
Yeah.
or first world, whatever the. It's just
First
such
world.
it's such a stupid reason to get mad about. But seriously, come on, StreamYard, make it easier for me. Which everybody, by the way, if you want to start your own channels and you want to get started in StreamYard, make sure you're checking out the subscriptions to all Turnbuckle Studios and Chris Parrish and Chris Best, CBS Entertainment, and all that, as we do have our code to where you can go in and sign up for a StreamYard account. As it's one of those things that StreamYard allows us to do, to kind of copy and paste a link. You can add him in. You just have to do that.
I did add him in.
Yeah, but I prefer to add myself in.
And we're not going to touch that, ladies and gentlemen. But on the
Yep.
But yeah, no, StreamYard does have a nice little thing where they will kick back to us on our annual subscription to the thing if we can help bring more people in. So check out the description. If you want to start up with StreamYard, go check that link out. As right now, L Bundy 201. Thank you for checking out us on Instagram. That's right. Sweet handle name.
He's going to come in and start talking about the time he got 4 touchdowns at Polk High.
He should, because then he might actually have a better chance of landing a job than Daniel Jones. But we're back with women's action here on SmackDown. Bayley and Naomi taking on Candice LeRae and the Money in the Bank holder, Tiffany Stratton. Do you guys see Tiffany Stratton cashing in at Survivor Series?
I see the potential for it. And I think it will be for whichever champion it is that team is down or has lost. Because I have a feeling it's either going to be Nia or Liv taking the loss at Survivor. Well, granted, they are on the same team, so.
Yeah, because I was going to say, whichever team lost, I'm like, they're both on the same team, dude.
I think it's safe to say that Candice LeRae or Liv Morgan could take the pins for each team. I could definitely see either Rhea Ripley potentially getting the win for her team, or I can honestly see Tiffany Stratton winning for her team. So it's going to be a very intriguing finish.
Right.
But, I mean, with the way now we're seeing the women be used, I can't say I'd be shocked on any one getting the win.
Right. See, I could see
I could see
Jade-
Candice LeRae getting the win.
See, I could see Jade getting the win for her team over Rhea Ripley to sort of tease that little bit more tension between her and Bianca.
I'll one up you with what we're seeing with Jade being attacked. Do we see very much like the Dakota Kai Tegan Knox heel turn? Do we see something of similarity with the tag team champions?
I think we could.
Mm-hmm.
If they have the titles, I don't think it's a full on like turn, but I do think it's another piece of the puzzle before we get to
Right. I think you'll see something
Oh.
that's maybe an incidental contact or a double clothesline between Jade and Bianca in the ring because somebody will duck.
it.
I'm sorry, but Io's uppercuts, she really needs to work on those.
It's their palm strikes.
Yeah, with a palm strike, you have to do an upwards thrust like that.
You don't have to. Boss Rutan has shown that very much so, but
Yeah.
she does it very much like the video game, and she is a big anime fan.
Yeah.
What is it? That's Haruken?
Oh, yeah. Street Fighter.
Yeah. Every time I see Rhea Ripley in this mask, I'm always wondering what's going on with her hair, and then it takes me a while to be like, oh yeah, that's just her mask. That's black. That's not her hair. Oh, it gets me every time. I'm just not used to it.
She kind of
Two
makes me think
shows in
of
a row that Liv has sort of stood there deer in the headlights, frozen in fear when Rhea's music is hit. And it's like,
Kind of want to see Rhea cosplay as
well, I mean, if
Batman
Rhea
now.
was running to the ring kicking your ass, wouldn't you be a deer in the headlights a little bit?
no, because I would know better and get the hell out of the ring.
Yeah, but I'm betting by the time you would think to do that, Rhea's already got you in her grasp.
And OMD, this is your brutality. But what we all wanted to know, how did you feel after you peed?
Much better. Relieved.
OMD feels relieved. We're streaming and we're doing well. How are you doing?
This is what you get with all of us here. The
Yep.
warden is away. The inmates will play.
Warden. He doesn't
There
have
is
a
no warden for this show.
Yeah.
True.
This was a shit show from the intro, bro. Yes, thank you to Ryan Basser. Thank you for checking us out on the Instagram, and Kelsey Lynn 98. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, glad to have you guys here.
Yeah. We just so you guys know, Instagram live comments or viewers don't appear on StreamYard.
Right.
Which is
So,
really
I
weird.
give them a shout out. Well, it's their own live feed that you got to go on. It's just it's StreamYard connecting it, so it's a different thing. But that's why I always shout out the people that are on Instagram, because you can't see them on here. I think now is a great time to play the banner or the Turnbuckle Studios banner for things you can watch throughout the week on Turnbuckle Studios. So if you
Yeah.
guys have absolutely no time on your hands, here's a video.
Yes. Where can you find
Turnbuckle
us?
Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. All times are in Eastern Time. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m., followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Thursday we get a variety stream with the Boar's Nest at 8 p.m. Friday we game again with Unleashed, the Jessica Wilde story at 7 p.m. Following the game, join us for the Smackdown Security Detail at 8 p.m. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. On Sunday be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day.
And that's where you can find Turnbuckle Studios and all of its fellow Turnbuckle Affiliation Program members, which, if you want to go and check out the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program, make sure you're following affiliationprogram.my.canva.site, and you can get more information that way. And again, we're back. Like, it's just perfect. We timed that out very well.
Yeah. It was beautifully timed.
We got the Three Stooges showing up, the American Chicago. They got to really update the Street Profits Titantron. Just say.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
But we're about to get Solo. Not Solo Cup or Solo Sokoa, but just Solo action from Montez Ford at the Street Profits. So everyone grab a drink and enjoy, because he is someone you don't want to miss in the ring.
And the man he's about to take on is another man you don't want to miss in the ring as well.
Right?
Especially given his recent attitude change, as it were.
Now, here's the question. Do we get DIY music or do we get the Blackheart?
Well, you'll find out very soon. Oh, wow, right, so fat. I think we get that one. But we don't. I'm wondering, does Ciampa take onus on the fact that the Street Profits have the next shot and maybe try to injure or hurt Montez Ford, so that puts DIY in the top seat for the titles?
I
I think this match is...
Not everybody at once.
Yeah. I've got to wonder if Gargano makes his presence felt in this match somehow, because, I mean, him begging for that title match and then not getting it kind of leads me to believe that he too will be turning heel alongside Tommaso, you know?
Right. See, and I was going to say, I think we're going to get Dawkins as well interfering. I think this is going to break down, resulting in a triple threat match and potentially two heel teams in DIY and the Street Profits.
Well, I would assume in this match right now, Montez Ford is not the heel.
No,
he's totally the babyface in this situation.
Yeah, I'm kind of aligning with that thought process best with Johnny Gargano, because I do think you got to give a little bit of flavor to that personality of whether or not he is not just on the same page of his partner or not, who, by the way, was run down by the Street Profits in front of Johnny Gargano. And I don't think Johnny Gargano should be okay with that if he still is on the same team of Tommaso Ciampa. So I think there's enough reason other than just not getting the shot, but now mad that the Street Profits took that next level insults to Tommaso Ciampa. But I thought Johnny Gargano did raise a good point when he flat out said, "Is like, well, Dawkins took a cheap shot on you. You're gonna listen to that instead."
Right?
I don't think he was wrong there. Just saying.
No, not at all.
I'm loving how logic is coming back into the characters we watch.
Right?
Yeah. And again, for the Motor City Machine Guns, that makes sense for why they're giving the Street Profits that other shot, because let's face it, the end of last week's match didn't end exactly fair for them.
No, and that's why it's. I mean, I can see why they don't do another ladder match or a TLC, which is what probably everybody just wants to see. Because I mean, Profits, DIY, Machine Guns, TLC. Yeah,
right.
If there's a sign-up sheet, you have my
undivided attention.
I was going to say Herbie Hancock right away. If you get the reference, thank you. But I think just having a standard triangle tag team match is perfect. Yes, I use the word triangle tag team match. Yeah. Come on. I know best you appreciate that.
Yeah, I was going to say going with old school WCW there.
It has happened in WWF too.
Yes, it has.
In fact, the very first TLC match was actually called the Triangle Ladder match.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think that was what, WrestleMania 16?
Yep. I
am nailing my dates. And then I'm getting my calendars right. Thank you, Mark Anthony O'Hanley. How are you doing for joining us on the Instagram? John Hamm as a skip guy was the best move ever.
Right? Yep.
It's like when I don't know the guy's name, but the Old Spice guy who always made those like amazing one shot,
yep,
that guy's untouchable. He is iconically good in that. No one should have replaced him. Just like I don't think anybody should replace John Hamm in the skip commercials. It's the same as Flo from Progressive. Yeah.
It makes me so happy to see that we're seeing mascots coming back to these advertisements, with
I wouldn't call them mascots, just spokespeople.
Yeah.
And I mean,
same thing.
One of John Hamm's first skip commercials where he's like, I just bought a Sault Ste. Marie, whatever that is.
Yep. I love that our city got a shout out on a Skip the Dishes commercial.
Right?
Hey, Grayson Waller on Chris Van Vliet. He name dropped Edmonton. Yeah, that's right.
Yes, he did.
Actually, oi. Thank you, Grayson.
There was an interview that was Renee Paquette with Adam Copeland that I sent to the group a few weeks ago, and Adam mentioned Sault Ste. Marie.
Well, yeah, he's an Ontario boy, of course.
Yep. He referred to his mullet as a Sault Ste. Marie waterfall.
Which is what we used to call mullets in our city way back in the day, actually. Yep.
You know what I call a mullet?
A mullet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have weird
or names. Your old haircut.
Don't be jealous that I have hair.
I'm not.
Having no hair is so easier to manage, isn't it,
What's
OMD?
up, buddy?
Right?
My nephew Al is on Instagram, so
nice.
Be on your worst behavior because we're trying to set a bad example for him. Just kidding, buddy. I am the fun uncle. I put the F in uncle. That's right. Funkle. I'm the Funkle Pop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Oh, I'm nailing the puns right now. Oh, actually, I was UFC, Uncle Effin, but that was for a bit. That was when they were like really young. Yeah, it was freaking, and then when they got deviant, it was the curse word. Just nothing but great in-ring action tonight on SmackDown.
Right?
Like, just getting spoiled with good wrestling lately. And for that,
Yes.
I say thank you.
Yeah, the in-ring has been great. The promos have been
Next level.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we say fire, but before that, they have to be lit. That's right. Ollie, you're young. Am I doing it right? Come on. Comment. Let me know. Am I saying that right? You know I'm older and I'm totally not in touch with that stuff. Okay, I think I finally know what move I'd like to see Montez Ford adopt.
What's that?
Okay.
The lowdown.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. I mean the with the air he already gets just off of a crossbody.
Mm-hmm. Well, sorry, not just lowdown, but also the sky high.
Yeah.
Really both. I love this because it gives there's so much sense to why Dawkins wants to fight Ciampa, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I kind of love this little story of trying to get Johnny to kind of
Yeah, the more I'm seeing this, the more I'm leaning towards a triple threat tag match or a triangle tag match.
the more I'm looking at this, the more I know Johnny is going to turn.
Yeah. Because eventually he's going to see what Tommaso is seeing,
And they're doing a great way of visualizing everyone, all 6 men. So this is going to grow into something larger.
Oh.
So Carmelo Hayes versus Cody Rhodes non-title match, but if he wins, he gets a title match down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Piper Niven won too. Yay.
Piper Niven won what?
We get a mystery opponent in the women's triple threat U.S. title match next week as Jade Cargill is out.
I'm gonna go with Alexa Bliss or Carmella.
And watch it be like somebody disappointing like Shotzi.
That's not disappointing.
No.
Could be Charlotte too.
I was going to say I'd be more disappointed if it's Charlotte.
I actually wouldn't, because I think Charlotte can definitely. What when I said I loved when Cody Rhodes is doing something with the younger generation like Carmelo Hayes, I would love to see Charlotte do the same thing. Not to mention, if somebody who, regardless of individual opinion on Charlotte, you can't deny that from a global standpoint, Charlotte is a star. And she's definitely a draw for WWE. So if you add that to the U.S. title, now the U.S. title gets a little bit more of that perception.
Right. Now, could this also be where we potentially see that first crossover superstar and potentially a Kairi Sane, potentially a Dakota Kai, or a Lyra Valkyria? I mean, we saw those 2 promos last Monday on Raw from Dakota and Lyra, which sort of was leading me towards that Intercontinental title announcement on Raw. Could we see one of them step in?
I think those are just promos to remind people who they are, you know?
I mean, we could also see a Lash Legend or Shakara Jackson.
Right.
And that would make sense too. But I mean, my guess is either on, if it's not Jade, let's also throw this out. It very well still could be Jade Cargill.
Right.
Yeah.
So if it's not Jade, let's start up with saying if it's not Jade and it is somebody else, I think I can definitely see it being somebody making the return / debut. I'm also thinking when you say crossover, somebody in TNA, I'm thinking maybe a Mickie James, maybe a Jordan Grace.
Right. The other person I could see it being is right there on SmackDown, and that would be the woman who left her triple threat match tonight in Bianca to now step in and take her partner's spot.
Could be. Especially too if the plan was Piper Niven taking out Jade, Bianca may want revenge.
Yep.
Ooh, and I think I have it. What happens if Bianca goes to Nick Aldis and says, I want that spot, and if I lose, I give up my spot at War Games. But if I win, I stay in the tournament and I keep my spot. I can deal with that because that means now she has something on the line.
Yeah.
Imagine if it was like just Nia Jax saying she wants both titles. Imagine being Michin and be like, oh, Piper Niven on one side, Nia on the other side. I'm like, damn it.
I would literally just step outside the ring and let those two brawl.
Just do that Homer or that Abe Simpson meme.
Yeah.
Can we just comment how Jack Jey Uso looks right now? Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, he's looking a little more ripped than usual. Fuck yes. Fuck yes.
Thank you, Marissa Oax, for joining on the Instagram Live. We are currently watching SmackDown, and Paul Heyman is now back.
Yes,
Holy
I fucking love
shit.
it.
Certainly was not what I was leaning to. But this now does, of course, as you alluded to earlier, lend credence to the Punk Rollins feud.
The very first thing that CM Punk did in a locker room when he came back from WWE was he looked at opening the bloodline door, the locker room door, before getting in a confrontation with Kevin Owens, asking him where Nick Aldis' office was. Kevin Owens gave him no answer.
Mm-hmm.
That was almost a year ago.
And let's not forget, I mean, we did bring up the history between Roman Reigns and Punk and how it was Punk who brought Roman, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose to the main roster. But what a finish to that show.
Wow.
Well, I did say earlier that the rumor was CM Punk was going to have a large input into Survivor Series. Now we know what that input is, as he is now the fifth man into the men's War Games match, because Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Sami Zayn, and the OTC Roman Reigns have been bamboozled, shocked, surprised, whatever you want to say, by the wise man return, who didn't come alone, because he brought himself a cult of personality in the name of CM Punk.
Yes.
So the dream of Solo Sikoa of having Roman and his bloodline join and surrender was put in an anaconda vice. And now, on November 30th, can he start dreaming? Because the possibility of him going to sleep is now real.
Yep.
Very much so.
By the way, I want to point out how Paul Heyman teased Lesnar in that promo a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The way he said it's not going to be 4-on-5, and the way he emphasized that word 5 led me to think 5F5 Brock Lesnar. You know?
So did he tease Lesnar, or he just made you think because you put the pieces of I think it's Lesnar based on that.
Yeah,
you took the bait that Paul Heyman likes to dish out.
Yeah, it was the emphasis on the word 5, you know.
Yep.
But
overall, tonight's show was just fantastic.
It was.
I mean, you should be 5 Alive now after seeing something that good.
It's funny you mentioned that because I'm actually going to be buying 5 Alive on my grocery list next week.
You should get Allsport instead.
And our buddy, our pal Bobby Batito coming in here right at the end saying, I love the show.
So did we, Bobby, and thank you for
Yes.
stopping
Yes, we
by.
did. Thank you for checking in. Always a pleasure to have you here with the Smackdown Security Detail.
And everybody at Turnbuckle Talk and Studios and all of that stuff.
That's right.
Shit.
So, before we hand in our socials, let's kind of panorama the details here. And what do you guys expect now from a CM Punk in the War Games?
I find it interesting that Punk, basically his last match was a cage match and his return match is a cage match. I find that very intriguing.
I find it intriguing that right at the end of it, even though there was nothing said, Punk pointed at Heyman and told Roman, I did it for him. I didn't do it for you.
Well, yeah, and Roman did ask, why are you here? And he
Yeah.
basically said, I did it for him. And this also, like, we know that Brock Lesnar was slated to be in the Royal Rumble, but with what was going on, he was taken out. Braun Breaker took that place. We know that was already something that came out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if this is something else of the same thing. Of that, maybe the talk was Brock Lesnar, but because of what's going on, we can't do that. Who's also another guy? Oh, look, we have a Paul Heyman guy as well in CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But I'm very curious to see on Monday now if CM Punk and Seth Rollins have anything to say, because Seth Rollins was heavily asked by the Bloodline. He has said no. Only for CM Punk, somebody that Seth Rollins has verbalized and emotionally been upset with the arrival of. So it's going to be a very intriguing Monday.
Yes, you alluded to that fact earlier about the potential for that to be the catalyst now for the Punk Rollins rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
And let's not forget that going back all those years to the Royal Rumble, we had Punk versus The Rock. So now does this trigger The Rock's return at Survivor Series as well?
I still think The Rock is going to help Solo's team win.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it's going to, I think, take shape in Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania, Seth versus Punk, which was the original expectation for this, or earlier this year.
Past WrestleMania. Yeah.
But we all know Punk got hurt.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, and we're already seeing 2 mega matches start for WrestleMania 41.
Right.
I mean, come on, because we're only like what 60 some days from the road to WrestleMania. So come on, people.
I mean, I've already pointed this out that they've put matches on hold at WrestleMania for the following year because be it some wrestler getting hurt. So I do firmly believe we are going to Seth and Punk at Mania this year.
Right. The other question I'm going to pose, it's actually a two-parter, because we have sort of not factored in Drew McIntyre into this. Is this a way to keep Punk and McIntyre maybe on separate shows for the time being? Or is this to take the focus on Punk away from Drew?
I think the latter. Because right now we have to just see kind of what both do after. I wouldn't be surprised after the Sheamus match, or not Sheamus, but I wouldn't be surprised after the Damian Priest match with Gunther. We might revisit Gunther versus Drew McIntyre, and then obviously that would be the catalyst this match being the catalyst for Punk to do War Games, then go to Seth, and now you're keeping them separate. I think you have to. Their story has been finished. There's no need to replay anything. I think everyone wants to just leave it on the note that they left at Hell in a Cell, because that was by far the perfect note to end it off.
Yeah, and I also think to a certain degree that I don't know if you put Drew with Gunther, because Punk said, when I come back, I'm going after Gunther as well. So, but again, as old Uncle
Drew
Dave used to
said that
say,
before
plans
Punk.
change.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Drew also said that when he beat Punk the first time as well. So,
And
who knows?
I mean, we have to look at it too this way: is now that we are getting closer and closer to not only the month of December, but to the Netflix era. I don't think we're going to see that draft that we had potentially heard rumors of. I think we will see that maybe after Mania. Could we see, if Punk gets drafted to SmackDown, do we get that Punk versus Cody?
I'm going to say this. I think you open up the floodgates for that episode of Raw on Netflix, and I think that they probably will. I think you do that for a while. I think you just flat out say the floodgates are open on the road to WrestleMania, and you just let Chaos kind of run the ship until WrestleMania, and then honestly announce the draft after WrestleMania. Hell, even announce a draft during WrestleMania, so now people know what to expect. And guess what? So many eyes are on it now, because now the question is, okay, we know now the direction. They're giving us kind of the direction. Which
would you maybe consider putting the draft on for the Raw after WrestleMania?
No.
Or starting it?
I'd bring back the aura of the Raw after Mania, because they have missed it for at least 3 years now, and they got to bring it back. This is a must, especially now that it's on Netflix. It's going to be a big deal. You got to do something big, and you got to do something absolutely moment-wise that stands out. The Raw after WrestleMania needs to be a thing again. And that is why I think you just open it up. If you have a big person coming in, you have a big debut, maybe, just maybe, we see Josh Alexander. Maybe, just maybe, we see somebody return. Maybe, just maybe, John Cena does something.
I've got a bit of a bold prediction for that Raw after Mania. If you want to do something big, debut Jordan Grace.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. I think you need more.
I literally just concocted it in my head. I don't have quite the scenario yet for it, but I will.
It's not just that. I think you need more.
Yeah.
I think I would love to see this. I think that's where you turn Bianca and Jade. And you really slow play it. We always say, oh, they should wrestle each other at WrestleMania. Why not SummerSlam?
Right?
And you can easily, but maybe WrestleMania is just where they end up losing the tag titles. I don't know. Or here would be a fantastic one. Why doesn't Chad Gable win a championship?
Yeah.
I mean, I still wouldn't be opposed to Chad winning the Intercontinental.
What happens if Chad Gable wins the world title? I don't know. To me, just do something. Whether it's sign something. What happens if that's when you see Alexa Bliss join the White Six? What happens if that's where you see Corey Graves return in ring? What happens if that's where we see Nick Aldis return to the ring? What happens if this is where we see Wade Barrett return to the ring? Who knows? Ricky Starks joins WWE.
Right?
You can check his interview with Chris Van Vliet on Tuesday. That's going to be a big one. I'm very intrigued. I know. That to me, you just got to bring back the aura that was the Raw after Mania.
Yeah. Maybe that's where Tiffy even cashes in too. You never know, right?
I hope she does it at Mania.
Yeah.
But on that note, I think it's time we give out those socials, starting with you, Mr. Parrish.
Yeah, you can check me out on my Linktree, and you can check out 5. That's right, 5. Why? Because 5 is kind of a nice number for tonight, right? We're talking 5 on 5. We're talking 5 Alive. I'm telling you, 5 platforms on my Linktree, and that is my YouTube, that is my Facebook, that is my Twitch, that is my Instagram Live, and that is my beautiful YouTube. And you can check out the Chris Parrish podcast every Sunday at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Time because it's a lot of fun. I talk about all things. I'm going to talk about how I bulk Dom Mysterio into a babyface. I'm going to talk about CM Punk. I'm going to talk about my local Edmonton 5 wrestlers who I think WWE should ID. And then I'm also going to direct you to RogueEnergy.com, who are doing a massive Black Friday sale. But if you also want to say, I just want to support you, that's okay because I got you. Use Parrish, P-E-R-I-S-H, as your promo code at checkout. Save yourself 10%, and I appreciate that. On to the next guy.
And that would be you, OMD.
And the people can check me out at my Linktree, linktr.ee/OMDShow. And for the people watching, they can catch me next online live Monday night with the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m., followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m.
All right, and you can find me at my Linktree, which is linktr.ee/Chris_best83. You can look for me tomorrow night on the CBRS Entertainment YouTube channel, where I will be doing the next episode of The Last of Us Part 2. Ellie and Jesse taking off to find the aquarium that Abby is supposedly hiding in.
And on that note, we like to go off on some words. So, OMD, what are those beautiful words?
Ladies and gentlemen, in the immortal words of Carl Carafel, the world is a scary place. Take care of each other. From all of us here at Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program, good night, good luck, we out.
I'll be there when you're down, when you're losing your crown, till the afterglow, the afterglow.
Fading away, you look so great when you gotta shine. One more thought of you is gone now, as you keep smiling at the crowd.
Pressure is your best enemy. Spotlights show what I wanna see. Sometimes it feels like you're under attack. You just can't break free. I'll be there